in business. We have capital markets. We also have taxation. From our syllabus document, taxation is topic 13. Capital markets is topic 10. While insurance in business is topic 9. Allow me, participants, take you through the structure of the assessment papers for entrepreneurship education at the advanced secondary level. I know majority of us who have been waiting for this. I know there has been a lot of misinformation about how entrepreneurship education at advanced secondary level will be assessed. There will be 2 scenario-based examination papers for entrepreneurship education at A level. Let us start with paper 1. Paper 1 shall be divided into 2 sections, i.e. section A and section B. Section A shall consist of 2 compulsory items. Section A of paper 1 shall consist of 2 compulsory items. Section B shall consist of 3 items, from which a candidate shall choose 2 items. We need also to know that all the items in paper 1 shall be drawn from construct 1, which is exploring entrepreneurial investment opportunities for development, and the construct 3, which is supporting business for sustainability. Dear participants, this is very critical. Our paper 1, I can repeat for us, will be drawn from construct 1, which is exploring entrepreneurial investment opportunities for development, and construct 3, which is supporting business for sustainability. I'm very aware that now we have known which topics are in each construct. For paper 2, we shall also have 2 scenario-based examination. We shall also, for paper 2, we shall also have 2 sections. That is section A and section B. Section A shall consist of 2 compulsory items. Section B shall consist of 3 items, from which a candidate shall choose 2. We need to note, as teachers and other participants, that all items in section A and section B of paper 2 shall be based on school business clubs and field trips. We also have to note that all items in this paper shall be drawn from construct 2, which is managing a business for sustainability. Our paper 2, both section A and section B, shall be drawn from construct 2, which is managing a business for sustainability. I think by now you can scan through the topics that will form this paper 2. There is finance and enterprise. We have business competition, as earlier said. We have business planning. We have marketing and enterprise. We have human resource and enterprise. We have production in an enterprise. That is how our paper 2 shall be structured. Let us take ourselves through one of the sample items that was generated. This sample item comes from paper 1, section B, and it is item 5. When these assessment guidelines be uploaded on our website, please get the guidelines, scan through. However, for this presentation, I extracted out item 5 from paper 1 and from section B. And this construct is exploring entrepreneurial investment opportunities for development. That's where this sample test item was extracted from. I can take us through the item. Mpigi District Local Government has observed increasing environmental degradation along River Katonga and its surrounding areas. Major unsustainable practices include deforestation, improper waste disposal, and sand mining. At the same time, community members have not identified or developed viable business opportunities linked to River Katonga, largely due to limited knowledge of how to identify and select profitable and sustainable ventures. To address these concerns, the district environmental officer and the community development officer have organized a community meeting. The purpose of the meeting is to highlight viable opportunities in the area and promote sustainable practices to manage the environmental threats arising from the misuse of natural resources. You have been requested as a student of entrepreneurship education to prepare a presentation on their behalf. Task: draft a formal message inviting community members to attend the sensitization meeting and develop a structured presentation that identifies and analyzes the challenges identified in the scenario. Propose viable and sustainable business opportunities linked to River Katonga. And finally, recommend practical strategies for managing environmental degradation in the area. Dear our viewers and participants, that is the task that was crafted from the sample test item. As earlier said, we are going to be scoring our learners basing on the scale of 1 to 4. That is score 1, score 2, score 3, and score 4. From the tasks that have been highlighted, there is an output that we expect learners to generate out. There are bases of assessment. So we shall base our scoring on the various bases of assessment that have been highlighted in the tasks. As earlier said, for this particular test item, it shall have 3 bases of assessment. And the first base is interpretation of the task or context. We want to score learners on how well they can interpret the task or the context. So we are going to differentiate learners on our first base of how well can they interpret the task or the context on a scale or a score of 4, 3, 2, 1. As you can see, that a learner to qualify for a score 4, this learner must clearly and comprehensively identify all of the key issues in the scenario, demonstrating deep understanding of sustainable practices such as deforestation, power waste disposal, and overmining. The learner to score or to be scored a 3 This learner must identify most key issues in the scenario, showing good understanding of the unsustainable practices and potential business opportunities. A learner to score 2, this learner must identify some of the problem in the scenario, demonstrating a partial understanding of the environmental challenges and business opportunities. A learner who will score or who will be scored 1 is that learner who will show minimal understanding of the scenario. That learner who will fail to identify any aspect from the scenario. That learner who will identify a few aspects vaguely or incorrectly. Our second base, as far as the task is concerned, is interpretation of. We'll be generating and presenting ideas. Our second base on this item will be generating and presenting ideas. After we have seen the interpretation of the task or scenario as our base, and we have scored these learners, then we shall go through the generating and presenting of ideas. How will a learner be scored for? A learner who will generate highly relevant and comprehensive ideas that fully address the task accurately. As far as environmental threats and process are well reasoned, that learner will be scored a 4. A learner who will generate relevant ideas addressing most aspects of the task, identifying major environmental threats and process appropriate solutions with some reference stroke examples, that learner will be scored a 3. A learner who will generate adequate ideas as far as addressing the task, but some important elements may be missing, that learner will be scored a 3. A learner who will generate few irrelevant, disorganized, poorly linked solutions, that learner will qualify to be scored a 1. Our last base of assessment as far as this item is concerned is making informed judgment. Learners must make informed judgment after they have presented ideas. So a learner who will provide an accurate, well-structured, and comprehensive summary of all the key aspects relevant to the scenario, that learner will be scored a 4. A learner that will provide a clear summary of key concepts with minor omissions. A learner who will form a well-supported opinion on environmental threats management, that learner will qualify for a 3. A learner who will generate general summary of key concepts. These concepts will be lacking depth or precision. That learner will qualify for a score 2. A learner who will provide a limited or incomplete summary of key concepts. A learner who will provide poorly unstructured information, vague information, unrelated information. That learner will score a 1. So what does it mean here on scoring? It means that different items will have different bases. However, we as teachers, our major role here is to identify the output first from that task. After, we segment the number of bases in that task. Then after, we identify the various indicators of mastery as far as the task is concerned. Then we shall scale out our scale of 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we shall start on the awarding of scores to our learners. I must also stress that here we are not looking at number of points that the learner will give. We are looking at the quality of the argument that a learner makes out of the basis that within the task. That's what majorly we shall be looking at. Key message. As teachers, this key message is paramount to us. 1. Entrepreneurship education, as earlier said, shall be assessed through 2 papers, each focusing on concrete constructs and assessment objectives. I think by now we appreciate that entrepreneurship education at A level will have 3 constructs, as earlier said, and I'm very sure that now we are appreciating which topics, which competences have been merged into each constructs. Each paper shall consist of 5 items. That is also very key. We need to take it. A candidate shall attempt 4 items in each paper. 2 will be compulsory items and 2 will be option items. So, during school-based assessment, I encourage us teachers, set 5 items, make 2 compulsory, let a learner select 2 items such that they can practice in preparation for the end of psych assessment. The other point that is very key, the duration of each paper shall be 3 hours. Entrepreneurship at advanced level, each paper shall have 3 hours. All the test items shall be scenario based. I encourage us teachers, let us try to develop scenario based items, and at being A level we advise that you set high order thinking scenario test items as per Bloom's taxonomy. This will help us, or this will help our learners to critically analyze as well as problem solve all what will be in the scenario. Also have to appreciate that responses to scenario-based test items in entrepreneurship education at A level shall be scored using rubrics. We have to score our learners using rubrics. We also need to appreciate that all the test items shall require the learner to integrate learning. That is knowledge, skills, genetic skills, values, and attitudes. What does this mean? We encourage teachers that as you develop sample test item to your learners, integrate a variety of topics within a particular construct such that learners can integrate knowledge from the various competences. I know after the presentation we have to get questions. The other thing I must stress before we go in for a short break, then to the questions, I must stress that field trips and school business clubs, as I presented in paper 2, are paramount. I know all of us, entrepreneurs, we know that school business clubs and field trips act as our laboratories. You go to field trips to test the theory. Also, the school business clubs help our learners get acquainted with how businesses in the world operate. So, school business clubs, field trips to be assessed in paper 2, as earlier said. The other thing I must stress is when we critically look at construct 2, we have finance in an enterprise. This is a clear indicator that all issues concerning finance all issues concerning finance, as far as various learning outcomes are concerned in our syllabus documents, will be tested in paper 2. I had to stress out that because I know most of us will ask those questions. So, finance in an enterprise being one of the competences under constructed 2 will be assessed in paper 2. School business club and field trips will also be assessed in paper 2. And the scenario-based items that will be set will require learners to practically apply the skills, the values, the generic skills they acquired whether during school business clubs as well as field trips. With that, I want to thank you for listening to me. We're going in for a short break. Then once we come back, I'll respond to the questions that may have come up. Then I will give the microphone to the MC to inform us what next as far as the program is concerned. Thank you so much for listening to me, team. Generate as many questions. I will come back shortly and respond to them.
Did you know that some of the science equipment used in Ugandan schools is designed and produced right here at the National Curriculum Development Center, NCDC? We strengthen the practical teaching of science and technology across Uganda's education system by designing and producing local science and technology equipment using locally available materials whenever possible. This approach makes practical learning affordable, accessible, and sustainable for schools across the country. Science equipment requires maintenance. STEP provides repair and servicing support to institutions to ensure laboratories remain functional and effective. Learning science should never stop due to broken equipment. STEPD provides repair and servicing support to institutions to ensure laboratories remain functional and effective. The department also conducts in-service training for science teachers and technicians. They are trained in proper operation, safe handling, servicing and repair, safe storage of equipment. Empowering teachers means empowering learners. STEP carries out research and development in educational equipment design to ensure that Ugandan students gain access to relevant, appropriate, and practical science skills. Innovation begins with hands-on experience. Did you know that some of the science equipment used in Ugandan schools is designed and produced right here at the National Curriculum Development Center, NCDC? We strengthen the practical teaching of science and technology across Uganda's education system by designing and producing local science and technology equipment using local. Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning center platform, your digital gateway to curriculum resources and support. This platform provides access to approved curriculum materials, digital content, teacher support resources, and guidance on the curriculum implementation, all in one place. In this short walkthrough, we will show you how to navigate platform and access learning materials. Step 1. Visit the NCDC website on www.ncdc.go.ug. Step 2. Click on the e-learning platform. Step 3. Click on Register to create an account or log in if you already have one. You can also use the guest account, which does not require login. Step 4. Simply enter your details and follow the prompts. Once logged in, you will have access to the downloadable materials and interactive content. The NCDC e-learning platform is designed to make curriculum access easier, faster, and more flexible for learners, teachers, and stakeholders across Uganda. By integrating technology into the curriculum delivery, NCDC is expanding access to quality education beyond the traditional classroom. Flexible, accessible, future-focused.
Thank you so much, our beloved participants. in this session, I'm going to respond to some of the questions that have been asked. So about that, I was responding to the question that have been raised. One of the viewer is saying, is finance to be tested only in paper 2? The answer is yes. In competency based, we assess a competence once. So finance, being that it is in construct 2, which is managing a business for sustainability, this is an indicator that it will be assessed only in paper 2. In CBC, we assess a competence once. So we can't assess it in paper 1, again in paper 2. So to respond to my colleague who has asked this question, that is finance to be tested only in paper 2, the response is yes. It will be assessed only in paper 2. The other question someone is asking, repost the elements of constructs. So let me repost the elements of construct. So those are our elements of construct. And element 1 is exploring entrepreneurial investment opportunities for development. And the topics under that construct are introduction to entrepreneurship education, entrepreneurial environment, business ideas and opportunities, social entrepreneurship, small and medium enterprises. Our construct 2 is managing a business for sustainability. The topics under that construct are business planning, production and enterprise, human resource and enterprise, finance and enterprise, business competition. Our last construct is supporting business for sustainability. And the topics in here, we have insurance in business, capital markets, and taxation. So using that as well, let me answer this person who is asking, in which paper will taxation computation be assessed? So when you look at the structure of paper 1, it says paper 1 shall be divided into 2 sections, section A and section B. Section A shall consist of 2 compulsory items. Section B shall consist of 3 items from which a candidate shall choose 2. Then that last bullet is very key. It emphasizes that all items in paper 1 shall be drawn from construct 1, which is exploring entrepreneurial investment opportunities for development, and construct 3, supporting business for sustainability. So being that taxation is in construct 3, to respond to my colleague, it's an indicator that taxation will be assessed under paper 1. There is another question here. Someone is saying, are there a project in entrepreneurship education at A level? I don't know what my friend is meaning, Because at A-level entrepreneurship education, we are looking at integration of knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. So when we talk of projects, the response to this is projects that used to have in paper 2 in the oral curriculum will also be assessed in entrepreneurship A-level. So because projects cut across all the competences, this one is an indicator that they will be assessed in all the papers. Why? The reason is projects are embedded within all the constructs, or projects are embedded within all the topics at A-level as far as our syllabus document is concerned. So I call upon teachers that are listening to us and those that are watching us live that please continue orienting learners on the various projects as we have been doing. Why? They will be assessed in all papers because they are in all the topics that make up entrepreneurship education syllabus at a level. The other question I'm responding to, someone is asking here, do we need shall we be marking qualifiers? The response is no. Qualifiers were just brought up by examiners or scholars to disadvantage various learners. So qualifiers here shall not be looked at. Why? Here we are looking at how well can a learner present an argument. What can a learner give? What can a learner do? So this one means that qualifiers in entrepreneurship advanced secondary curriculum will not have space in our end of cycle assessment. The other last question, please keep questions coming in. We shall be responding to them as time goes by. There is another item here, another question here. Someone is asking, he's also asking about finance. As I said, finance, let me repeat this, is in construct 2, managing a business for sustainability. So meaning all issues concerning finance in an enterprise will be assessed in a paper 2. The other thing I must stress is that our paper will be applicable in nature. We want learners to apply what they have learned during the classroom, what they have learned or practiced during school business clubs, what they have learned or interfaced with during field trips, be used to solve real world problems. We want to make entrepreneurship education practical in nature. I know previously some of us, we have been not engaging learners with school business clubs. Others have not been taking learners for these field trips, which are our laboratory. In entrepreneurship education, I call upon all of us to strengthen these areas. Why? We are looking at this learner who does entrepreneurship education to come up in the world of work to create profitable, viable, and sustainable ventures. Thank you so much for listening to me, team. Keep your questions coming in. We shall be responding to them For any other queries, please, our social media platforms are always open. Send. Use our master trainers, as manager pronounced yesterday. They can orient you more about this. Also encourage you, once the assessment more guidelines have been uploaded on our website, please download them, scan them, look at how you can formulate test items, engage learners during the school-based assessment with those items that you have developed, and also try to see how you can score these learners. Thank you so much, team, for tuning in. That is how entrepreneurship education at A-level shall be assessed. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning center platform, your digital getaway to curriculum resources and support. This platform provides access to approved curriculum materials, digital content, teacher support resources, and guidance on the curriculum implementation, all in one place. In this short walkthrough, we will show you how to navigate platform and access learning materials. Step 1. Visit the NCDC website on www.ncdc.go.ug. Step 2. Click on the e-learning platform. Step 3. Click on Register to create an account or log in if you already have one. You can also use the guest account, which does not require login. Step 4. Simply enter your details and follow the prompts. Once logged in, you will have access to the downloadable materials and interactive content. The NCDC e-learning platform is designed to make curriculum access easier, faster, and more flexible for learners, teachers, and stakeholders across Uganda. By integrating technology into the curriculum delivery, NCDC is expanding access to quality education beyond the traditional classroom. Flexible, accessible, future-focused. Behind every curriculum-related document lies the expertise of our print and production unit. The unit operates a state-of-the-art printing press capable of delivering high-quality printing and publishing services. By producing materials in-house, NCDC reduces costs and strengthens institutional sustainability while ensuring timely availability of curriculum resources. We print all curriculum-related materials, including textbooks, readers, and teachers' guides, supporting effective implementation across the education sector. Beyond curriculum materials, the unit also provides commercial printing services to the public, guaranteeing high quality, quick turnaround, and competitive pricing. Our services include posters and banners, flyers and brochures, branded letterheads, stickers and labels, and much more. With precision, efficiency, and professionalism, the print and the production unit brings ideas to life in print. Did you know that some of the science equipment used in Ugandan schools is designed and produced right here at the National Curriculum Development Center, NCDC? We strengthen the practical teaching of science and technology across Uganda's education system by designing and producing local science and technology equipment using locally available materials whenever possible. This approach makes practical learning affordable, accessible, and sustainable for schools across the country. Science equipment requires maintenance. STEP provides repair and servicing support to institutions to ensure laboratories remain functional and effective. Learning science should never stop due to broken equipment. STEPD provides repair and servicing support to institutions to ensure laboratories remain functional and effective. The department also conducts in-service training for science teachers and technicians. They are trained in proper operation, safe handling, servicing and repair, safe storage of equipment. Empowering teachers means empowering learners. STEP carries out research and development in educational equipment design to ensure that Ugandan students gain access to relevant, appropriate, and practical science skills. Innovation begins with hands-on experience.
Welcome back from the entrepreneurship presentation. Our next subject is subsidiary mathematics, but before we go for mathematics, some members are still sending in some generic questions which have been handled in earlier presentations. Again, I will re-echo that the manager presented a generic presentation which was having most of the assessment guidelines. I would encourage people to visit that presentation. It is on the NCDC UG channel. Please visit it and ensure that you go through it because it will help to answer a lot of questions which are coming in. Someone is still asking here that how will entrepreneurship be graded? If you go to that general overview which the manager presented, it has a guideline on the general scoring, how it will be. But secondly, from the previous presentation, the specialist for entrepreneurship has presented the guidelines on how we'll be assessing. In case you missed it, please remember to visit our YouTube channel. All these recordings are there. All the previous sessions are there. People are still inquiring about the previous subjects which we have already covered. Please visit our YouTube channel and go through the videos. Thank you so much. I'll be welcoming in the specialist for subsidiary mathematics.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on this call. I welcome you all to this session. Kennedy Matumbo is my name. I'm the curriculum specialist for mathematics here at NCDC. I'll be taking you through assessing learners in subsidiary mathematics at advanced secondary level. Yesterday I was here for principal mathematics and I told you that we have two subjects of mathematics at A level. The first one is the principal mathematics, which I presented yesterday. The second one is this subsidiary mathematics that I'm presenting now. The session objectives: by the end of the session, participants should be able to appreciate the mode of assessing learners in subsidiary mathematics under the adapted competence-based curriculum at advanced secondary level. Like all the other subjects, sub-mathematics also has a focus, what we focus on when we are assessing sub-math. And the focus here is on determining the ability of the learner to interpret data and uncertainty, model relationships between quantities, analyze change, accumulation, and spatial reasoning in order to solve real-world problems and make informed decisions in everyday and practical context. That is the focus for sub-mathematics, and whatever we do when we are assessing it is in line with that statement. Sub-mathematics here has four constructs, and each construct is having an objective. I'm starting with the 4 assessment objectives. The end of cycle assessment for sub-math will be guided by 4 assessment objectives, focusing on the learner's ability to. The first one is to analyze real-world situations involving data and uncertainty to support informed decision-making. The second one is to model relationships between quantities using algebraic concepts to solve real-life problems. The third one is to apply concepts of change and accumulation to solve real-life problems. The fourth one is to analyze spatial relationships to solve real-life challenges. So those are the 4 assessment objectives for sub-mathematics. And the number of assessment objectives tells the number of constructs. So we have 4 constructs in sub-math. The first one is data analysis and the probability. The description of that construct is analyzing and interpreting data to identify trends for informed decision making and predictions in uncertain situations. The topics we have there, the topics we have in that construct, we have matrices, we have descriptive statistics, we have time series analysis, we have scatter diagrams and correlations. Another one is probability theory. We have random variables and probability distributions. The numbers you are seeing there indicate the position of those topics in the positions of those topics in the syllabus. So you don't say that numbering has changed, we move from number 1 to number 3, 7 to 8, then 8 to 11. No, the way they are numbered there is as they appear in the syllabus of sub-math. The second construct is algebra, and the description for that construct is applying symbolic reasoning and generalizing to solve problems and model relationships in real life situations. The topics we have in that construct, we have quadratics, we have numerical concepts, we have series, we have permutations and combinations. That is construct number 2. Construct number 3 is calculus, and in calculus the description is analysis and modeling of change and accumulation in real life situations. There are 3 topics in that construct. The first one is differentiation, the second one is integration, and then differential equations. The fourth construct is geometry, and the description for that is analysis of spatial relationships to solve real life problems. We have 2 topics in that construct. The first one is vector, the second one is trigonometry, which is topic number 10 in the syllabus, and that's why we have numbered it like that. I want to go to the structure of the assessment paper after the construct. Sorry. There will be one assessment paper for subsidiary mathematics. This paper will be tailored for learners who need mathematical skills to enhance their studies in other subjects, emphasizing the importance of mathematical computation in everyday life and future careers. It will assess the 4 constructs: algebra, calculus, geometry, data analysis and probability. Data analysis and probability is one construct, and the assessment will be focusing on both theoretical and practical application of these constructs. The paper will contain 6 items: 1 item from calculus, 1 item from geometry, 2 items from algebra, and 2 items from data analysis and probability. Each construct will form a section, meaning that we shall have 4 sections. Section A will be on geometry, and it will have 1 item. Section B will be on calculus, and there will be 1 item. Section C will be on algebra, 2 items, and section D will be on data analysis and probability, and there will be 2 items. The learner will be required to answer 1 item from each section. I can say that section A will be compulsory, B will be compulsory, and then in section C, the learner will be required to pick 1, to choose 1 item. Then in section D, also the learner will be required to choose 1 item. So the learner will be required to attempt a total of 4 items. The items in the paper will be scenario based. The duration of the assessment paper will be 3 hours. Each item will take 40 minutes. 40 times 4, that is 160, plus the 20 minutes for reading through the items and choose from the options. When you add the 160 minutes to the 20, you get 180 minutes, and those are the 3 hours we are talking about for this paper. I have a sample assessment item here. I can read it. We can go through together. A secondary school has poor sanitation facilities, and it is considering holding a fundraising concert to renovate them, as they plan to construct new facilities. The school administration is unsure if the fundraising concert is a tentative viable solution, especially since it requires some initial spending of 50 million shillings on tickets. They plan to sell tickets and make profits using the profit model of P of x is equal to negative x squared. Sorry about that. It is x squared plus negative x squared plus 10,000x minus 200,000, where x is the number of tickets sold and P of x is the total revenue expected. A group of all the students of the school intended to construct new sanitation facilities. They started with a contribution of 1 million shillings and increased it by monthly contribution of 2 million each month for a period of 14 months. they intend to put the full amount raised on a fixed account at an annual compound interest of 12% in order to grow their contributions and raise 42,855,000 to fund the construction project. A device task, we have part A and part B, and part A is a device. Let me get the other part that is not very clear. Advise school administration as to whether the fundraising concert is a viable solution. There is also part B. Are you able to see part B there? No, there is part B before. Sorry? There is a part that is part B that is not seen on the screen. I don't know how it has come. Sorry about that, colleagues. Okay. Are we back? Okay, it's back. I can now see the part B. Help the old students to determine the time required to raise the estimated total cost of the construction project. So those are the two parts of the task. I want us to go to the scoring rubric here and see how we can score this item. Like all the other subjects you have seen so far, and from the presentation, the general presentation of the manager, submath will also follow the basis of evaluation, and the first basis is interpretation of the task stroke scenario, and here we are looking at the comprehension of the task in respect to the scenario. We follow the 4 levels. The highest is level 4, score 4. We go to score 3, score 2, and then the lowest is score 1. And the best student here will demonstrate comprehensive understanding of the task stroke scenario by identifying accurately all the 4 important aspects of the task. And the important aspects are there: defines variables of A, series. A is the first term, D common difference, any number of terms. Then we have amount, you know what we mean by principal. Another variable to identify there is rate, and then time. So that Roman 1 is the first aspect. Roman 2 is formation of quadratic equations for profit function. Aspect 3 is the formula for sum of some for AP. Roman 4, it's not seen on the screen. I think it was adjusted a little, but Roman 4 here is formula for compound interest. No, you can leave it. You can leave it. I have read it. So Roman 4 there is formula for compound interest. So there are 4 aspects that we do have in that column, and the best candidate will identify accurately all those 4 important aspects of the task. The good candidate, who is the second best, and that one will score 3, will demonstrate good understanding of the task by identifying accurately 3 of the 4 important aspects of the task, and we keep referring to the 4 important aspects that we listed in the column of score 4. Colleagues, you will see that the quality of the work and the quantity of the aspects will keep reducing as you cascade from level 4 down to level 1. Level 2, where the learner is supposed to score 2, the learner will demonstrate basic understanding of the task by identifying accurately 2 important aspects of the task. And the one at the bottom, who will score 1, will demonstrate limited understanding of the task by accurately identifying one of the important aspects of the task, all irrelevant aspects of the task. That one is also scoring 1. The learner can identify aspects that are not related to this item. That learner is given 1. So that is it. I'm just giving a sample of this part of the scoring rubric, because when I score the whole thing, some of us will become lazy to go and read, or to go and read the assessment guidelines for subsidiary mathematics in full. So I have given just that one basis of evaluation, but the others, you have to add them. We have generating and presenting ideas as basis number 2, which can also be divided into 3, and the 3 we have there, the first one is generating ideas that are addressing the task. We have the one that is looking at the connection of the ideas within and outside the scenario. We also have the one that is looking at the logical flow of the work. That is basis number 2, which can be split into 3. We also have basis number 3, which is making informed judgment. So soon, when the assessment guidelines come, you will be able to see all those details for the sample assessment items with their corresponding scoring rubrics. Colleagues, that marks the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning center platform, your digital gateway to curriculum resources and support. This platform provides access to approved curriculum materials, digital content, teacher support resources, and guidance on the curriculum implementation, all in one place. In this short walkthrough, we will show you how to navigate platform and access learning materials. Step 1. Visit the NCDC website on www.ncdc.go.ug. Step 2. click on the e-learning platform. Step 3. Click on register to create an account or log in if you already have one. You can also use the guest account, which does not require login. Step 4. Simply enter your details and follow the prompts. Once logged in, you will have access to the downloadable materials and interactive content. The NCDC e-learning platform is designed to make curriculum access easier, faster, and more flexible for learners, teachers, and stakeholders across Uganda. By integrating technology into the curriculum delivery, NCDC is expanding access to quality education beyond the traditional classroom. Flexible, accessible, future-focused. Behind every curriculum-related document lies the expertise of our print and production unit. The unit operates a state-of-the-art printing press capable of delivering high-quality printing and publishing services. By producing materials in-house, NCDC reduces costs and strengthens institutional sustainability while ensuring timely availability of curriculum resources. We print all curriculum-related materials, including textbooks, readers, and teachers' guides, supporting effective implementation across the education sector. Beyond curriculum materials, the unit also provides commercial printing services to the public, guaranteeing high quality, quick turnaround, and competitive pricing. Our services include posters and banners, flyers and brochures, branded letterheads, stickers and labels, and much more. With precision, efficiency, and professionalism, the print and the production unit brings ideas to life in print. Did you know that some of the science equipment used in Ugandan schools is designed and produced right here at the National Curriculum Development Center, NCDC? We strengthen the practical teaching of science and technology across Uganda's education system by designing and producing local science and technology equipment using locally available materials whenever possible. This approach makes practical learning affordable, accessible, and sustainable for schools across the country. Science equipment requires maintenance. STEP provides repair and servicing support to institutions to ensure laboratories remain functional and effective. Learning science should never stop due to broken equipment. STEPD provides repair and servicing support to institutions to ensure laboratories remain functional and effective. The department also conducts in-service training for science teachers and technicians. They are trained in proper operation, safe handling, servicing and repair, safe storage of equipment. Empowering teachers means empowering learners. STEP carries out research and development in educational equipment design to ensure that Ugandan students gain access to relevant, appropriate, and practical science skills. Innovation begins with hands-on experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from that break. I have got some questions here to answer. They are not very many, meaning that the presentation has been very clear. The first question here is that will probability be assessed? Will probability be assessed? The answer is yes. When you look at the construct of data analysis and the probability, the topics that are there, the first one is matrices. We have descriptive statistics, time series analysis, scatter diagram and correlation, probability theory, random variables, probability distribution. And probability is part of that construct, so it will be assessed. The second question that I have got is here. Someone is asking, and I have not seen the face, but I suspect that the face is also tough. Someone is asking why mechanics is not included in the curriculum. Yes, to answer that, we said that we have two subjects of mathematics at A level: principal mathematics and the sub-math. Even in the old curriculum, there was no mechanics in subsidiary mathematics. Mechanics was only in the principal mathematics, and yesterday when I was presenting on principal mathematics, I talked about a construct of mechanics, and mechanics in principal mathematics as a construct has two topics. There is dynamics 1 and then the dynamics 2. And I remember saying, I know that the teachers who teach sub-math are the same teachers who teach principal, because no special teachers were trained to teach sub-math. So yesterday I said that in the old curriculum we are not having those two names, the dynamics 1 and then the dynamics 2. But when you go into the details of dynamics 1, you will see that the we picked 3 topics that were there in the old curriculum, and because they were related, we put them together and we gave them a name, dynamics 1. And those topics are resultant and components of forces, friction, and connected particles. That is the dynamics 1. Dynamics 2 has the resultant velocity, relative motion, and then the projectiles. Those topics were there in the old syllabus, in the old curriculum. Now when we put those 3 together, we came up with dynamics 2. So mechanics is there in principal math, it's not there in sub-math, because even in the old curriculum, mechanics was not there in sub-math. Is there another question? Another question is here. What are the kind of calculators recommended? We can say all scientific calculators can work, and I can't say that you go and buy FX100, FX991. All scientific calculators can work. So I don't know whether this question is coming from a teacher or a student, because I suspect some students are tuning in and they are following this session. They are following what we are talking about here. But it is fine. All scientific calculators can work. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the questions that I've managed to come through, and I hope I have answered them. I want to thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for attending. Please, I want to wish you a very good afternoon.
NCDC Journal invites researchers, curriculum specialists, educators, and policymakers to submit scholarly papers for publishing. The journal provides a peer-reviewed platform for high-quality research and critical discourse in curriculum studies, education policy, pedagogy, assessment, innovation, and related fields. We welcome original research articles, policy analysis, case studies, theoretical and conceptual papers, evidence-based classroom innovations. Submissions should contribute to strengthening curriculum development and improving teaching and learning outcomes. All manuscripts undergo a rigorous peer review process to ensure academic quality and relevance. Be part of the conversation shaping Uganda's education landscape. Submit your manuscript and contribute to knowledge that informs policy, practice, and national development. Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning center platform, your digital gateway to curriculum resources and support. This platform provides access to approved curriculum materials, digital content, teacher support resources, and guidance on the curriculum implementation, all in one place. In this short walkthrough, we will show you how to navigate platform and access learning materials. Step 1. Visit the NCDC website on www.ncdc.go.ug. Step 2. Click on the e-learning platform. Step 3. Click on register to create an account or log in if you already have one. You can also use the guest account, which does not require login. Step 4. Simply enter your details and follow the prompts. Once logged in, you will have access to the downloadable materials and interactive content. The NCDC e-learning platform is designed to make curriculum access easier, faster, and more flexible for learners, teachers, and stakeholders across Uganda. By integrating technology into the curriculum delivery, NCDC is expanding access to quality education beyond the traditional classroom. Flexible, accessible, future-focused. Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning. NCDC invites researchers, educators, policymakers, and development partners to participate in the preparation of the second International Conference on Curriculum Development, scheduled for August 2026. The international conference will bring together thought leaders from across the globe to share research, innovations, and best practices in the curriculum design, implementation assessment, digital transformation, and inclusive education. All abstracts and full papers will undergo a peer review process to ensure academic rigor and relevance. Support preparations for a conference that inspires innovation and drives educational transformation. NCDC invites researchers, educators, policymakers, and development partners to participate in the preparation of the second International Conference on Curriculum Development, scheduled for August 2026. The international conference will bring together thought leaders from across the globe to share research, innovations, and best practices in the curriculum design, implementation assessment, digital transformation, and inclusive education. All abstracts and full papers will undergo a peer review process to ensure academic rigor and relevance. Support preparations for a conference that inspires innovation and drives educational transformation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Grace Nandutu, and a curriculum specialist for food and nutrition. You're all welcome to this presentation as we look at the assessment guidelines for food and nutrition. The assessment of food and nutrition focuses on developing the learner's ability to enhance food quality through value addition to improve the nutritional value, safety, and acceptability of food products. I know in the old curriculum, we have not been paying a lot of emphasis on value addition at A level. But in this aligned curriculum, since it's aligned to lower secondary, we have tried to put emphasis on value addition because it's a very crucial concept of our subject. Secondly, we want to promote food quality and apply safe and efficient use of kitchen equipment, meal planning, and preparation practices to support appropriate diet management and balanced nutrition for different population groups. also need to emphasize preservation, because it is what will increase the shelf life. So we have to ensure that when our learners learn how to process, they also learn to preserve. I have already talked about the third construct, which is nutrition and meal management, that in this we have two constructs. One that focuses on managing meals for managing nutritional imbalances, that is health, nutrition in health, if I could put it, in health and disease. So here we say apply nutrition knowledge to prevent and manage nutritional imbalances in order to promote health in the community. And then the other assessment objective is apply principles of nutrition and meal management to assess nutritional needs and plan and prepare balanced meals that promote optimal health and well-being among diverse population groups while ensuring safe food practices and efficient use of resources. We have here also a linkage between the constructs and the topics. I know you have these topics in the syllabus or in the nutrition curriculum, but here we have grouped them under the different or under the three constructs. But this does not mean that that is the order. So many subtopics under processing and preservation. So you refer to your syllabus. But of course, you know that we have, of course, processing fruits, vegetables, milk, eggs, meat, and all that, all the meats and all that. There is so much processing. It is really being enriched and like in the old curriculum. The nutrition and meal management, we have nutrition, absorption and metabolism of nutrients, planning and preparation of meals. We have beverages, we have bread, cakes, pastries, and all that. You have all these topics in the curriculum. Planning and preparation of meals, part 2, it's so broad, so we broke it into 2 parts, so that one part is done in senior 5 and the other part is done in senior 6. Then we have nutrition in the different stages of the life cycle. Then we have food systems and environment. And then finally, we have nutrition in rehabilitation. Let's look at the structure of the assessment papers. There will be 2 examination papers for food and nutrition. Of course, we'll have paper 1, which is a theory paper. And we will also have paper 2, which is definitely a practical paper. In paper 1, we shall have 2 sections, that is A and B. And section A will have or will comprise 2 items drawn from 2 constructs, that is application of principles of science in the home and then food value addition. These items in this section are both compulsory. There is no choice. Section A will have 2 test items coming from the 2 concepts, and like I've said, they are both compulsory. Then in section B, this will draw items from construct 3, which is nutrition and meal management. Sorry, there is something missing there. It's nutrition and meal management. And this addresses assessment objective 3 and 4. And like I said, we have the management of nutritional related diseases or disorders, but we also have the management of the usual meals and of course functional meals. So we have all that in section B. We will have 2 items in this section, but the candidate will be expected to choose only one. So at the end of the day, candidates will take 3 items. The 2 which are compulsory in section A, and then the elective or the choice from section B. All these items, remember, are scenario based. And they will take, the paper will take about 3 hours. But of course, after, and definitely we have the meal preparation, which is under construct 3. So a candidate is expected to take only 1 item. They will have a choice, but this time round, the choice is not as broad as it has been in the old curriculum, where we will have 5 items and the candidate will choose 1. In this case, we will have 2 items and the candidate would choose 1. The paper will be done in 2 phases, like we have always done. And there will be planning phase, and then of course the actual practical, which begins with preparation, 30 minutes of preparation, and then they will carry out the timed practical. We have the 2.5 hours for planning because the 30 minutes are for the calculation. So the calculation has got to be done and before the sealing of the plans of work. I want us to look at a sample test item. This is for theory, and we're saying that in a rural Ugandan village, and it is drawn from construct 2, which is value addition. In a rural Ugandan village, dairy farmers face milk spoilage due to limited market access. Earlier efforts to process the milk into value-added products such as yogurt, cheese, and butter have failed as customers rejected them for poor taste, smell, or flavor, and short shelf life. One farmer has approached you for guidance on improving product quality, extending shelf life, and increasing market reach, and definitely income. This is on value addition, and it is on milk processing. We have a support picture there on processing milk. And then our task is explain to farmers the effective strategies to improve taste, odor, and shelf life of dairy products. I'm going to run through this, the key parameters that we would look for in the scoring, and then finally we will just take one example of the whole scoring, of the scoring rubric. What are we looking for? We are looking at the comprehension of the task. Does the learner or the candidate demonstrate a thorough and precise understanding of the task and context? Clearly identifies all the key elements of the scenario, including market challenges, causes of spoilage, product rejection, and the need for effective improvement strategies. And then fully and explicitly explains the purpose, target audience, and which, of course, the target audience here are the farmers, and intended outcome of the write-up. And then they will have a brief view of those elements, And then they will also generate ideas that address the task, a wide range of highly relevant, practical, and innovative ideas. This is value addition. And so the ideas have to be highly relevant. They have to be practical. They have to be innovative. This is where they display their creativity in value addition. And of course, they have to clearly consider hygiene, preservation, flavor, storage, marketing in a balanced and integrated manner, because these are very key when it comes to dairy products. And then we'll also look at making connections within and between ideas and context. Yes, they have the ideas, but how do they put these ideas together? Clearly and consistently links ideas to each other and to the given scenario or context. There must be a demonstration of strong cause-effect understanding. For example, improved hygiene leads to reduced spoilage. So there must be a cause-effect understanding. Increased market. You know, when you have improved the hygiene, definitely there won't be any more spoilage. The product would have improved in quality, and as a result of improved quality, the market will definitely increase. So we want to see that kind of linkage or that kind of connection, logical and well explained. The ideas are presented logically and clearly and systematically. Okay? Yeah. And then there must be, the information should flow smoothly and convincingly. Then uses acquired knowledge to form conclusions. When we come to the conclusions, the candidate should demonstrate thorough and accurate understanding of dairy product improvement. We are talking about product improvement. So does that come out in the conclusion? And draws insightful, well-reasoned, and high-relevant conclusions. Effectively integrates knowledge of hygiene, preservation, flavor, storage, and marketing strategies. You must integrate this, or the candidates must integrate this. If we are looking at improved quality of the product so that we avoid spoilage, are we looking at the hygiene? That is key. Are we looking at the preservation? Like I mentioned when I was looking at this construct, that some students only do the processing, but they don't think about the preservation. I have seen that because I have been marking practicals, so I have moved to several schools, and I noted that many candidates process their food, but at the end of the day, they don't preserve. So there must be preservation if we are to extend the shelf life. And of course, the flavor and the storage will also help to improve the product. And at the end of the day, the market will definitely get better. So here we are going to look at just one element of the scoring rubric, and I have chosen the generation of ideas. We are looking at developing a wide range of highly relevant, practical, and innovative ideas. Like we have said, this is value addition. There must be innovation. That innovation, is it high? You know, a high level of innovation and creativity, because you're adding value. There must be originality. Have the learners simply chosen, you know, a recipe from a particular book, or there is a high level of creativity? And they have, at the end of the day, there must be improvement strategy of the dairy products. And clearly considers hygiene, preservation. These are very key. I have mentioned them. Hygiene, preservation, flavor, storage, and marketing. Because storage will also, if it is poorly storage, the product quality will be ruined. If it is the flavor is bad, the market will be ruined. If the preservation has not been done, you have just processed and stopped at that, the market will definitely be ruined, because the product will not have a long shelf life. So we have to see all that. Does the candidate bring out the strategies to bring out that? And of course, that is the highest score, so they would score a 4, and then you go reducing depending on how the candidates are presented or how the learners have presented their work. So that is for the theory paper. I want us to look at the practical paper briefly. This is a sample. A group of farmers from your village harvested a bumper crop of pulse vegetables, but faced low and unstable market prices. To increase income and reduce post-harvest losses, they plan to engage in value addition, but lack knowledge on processing and preservation. Use your knowledge and skills of food and nutrition to provide guidance to help the farmers overcome these challenges. It is again in value addition, but also we have other items or parts of the item that come with it to complete the practical test. Remember, the practical test has definitely value addition, but after the value addition, after they have done the processing, they're supposed to prepare a meal. And of course, at the end of the day, there must be a calculation of the nutrients which would be specified. In this case, we have a 3-course meal. So we have the tasks are prepare a suitable processed and preserved product to demonstrate to the farmers how they can add value to their produce. Then use a processed product to make 2 confectionery products. I have not dwelled on the first one because I have been talking about value addition. But when you look at the second bullet, use a processed product to make 2 confectionery products. We are not saying use the processed product. In this case, the learner is free to use any processed product in line with what has been processed. For example, let me if the learner, for example, has processed or is going to use beans or is going to process beans or soya, in part B, they don't have to use what they have processed. Why? Because just in case they didn't do it well in part A, they are ruined for part B. So we don't want the candidates to lose twice. If their product in part A has not come up well, they are free to use any other soya product in the preparation of the confectionery, so that in case it didn't come out in part A, at least they have a fair product that they can use. I have taken note that in some schools, because the teachers of the school, let me put it this way, if the school does not want to buy some of these products, so that when it comes to part B, the learner is not stuck to what they made in part A, which probably did not come out properly, and therefore it will affect the product that comes out. They usually tell the learners, you make, and then after they have made, use that same product to do the part B. That is wrong. We are supposed to provide, of course the learners will ask for these items, products themselves, and schools are expected to provide for them. If it is soya, for example, and the learner is processing soya in the first place, and in the second part, I want to use soya flour, I don't have to be tied. The learner does not have to be tied to use the soya that was processed in part B, because probably it didn't come out well, but they can use soya flour, and therefore we expect the school to provide the soya flour. That's why we are saying use a processed, not the processed, a processed product to make 2 confectionery products. And then using one of the dishes in B, prepare other dishes to complete a 3-course meal for the family. That means they would use any of the 2 products. If they have used a cake, probably that would be a 3rd course, and so they will plan for first and 2nd course. You can also use soya in making a soup, so probably that would be a 1st course. So then they would plan for 2nd and 3rd course. Then of course in the calculation, that one I know we all know that there is always a calculation, so I don't have to labor in that. Because of time, the scoring rubric for scoring the practical is very long, but I know we are going to interact and we will share the whole of the scoring rubric. But here I have just chosen the part of the work plan, which is generation of original ideas. I've not even taken the whole work plan where they justify their choices and all that, but I've chosen the first part where they are generating original ideas. We have said that we expect to see the candidate demonstrating a high level of creativity. This is a practical paper or a practical examination. And in practical, that's where we expect candidates to demonstrate a high level of innovation and creativity, where they can even come up with their own recipes. So we expect a high level of creativity and originality by proposing innovative, practical, and context-appropriate value addition ideas using probably the tomatoes or whatever, the vegetables or the pulses that have been brought out in the scenario. And then, of course, clearly propose 2 confectionaries and a well-planned 3-course meal that should come out. That if someone does that, then they will score at a 4. And of course, we go dropping to 3, 2, and 1, depending on how the learners or how the candidates have packaged their work. So, in conclusion, what have we said? We have said that assessment of food and nutrition will focus, not for 3 constructs and 4 assessment objectives. And it will be assessed through 2 papers, and that is assessing the theory on application to real life situations brought out using the scenarios. And this will cut across all the three constructs, and that's the reason why we have 3 items at the end of the day. And then it will also assess the practical applications, which are also brought out through the scenarios. And the practical application, like I mentioned, will draw from all the 3 constructs because there is application in every construct. So I want to thank you for listening to me, and I invite any questions. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning center platform, your digital gateway to curriculum resources and support. This platform provides access to approved curriculum materials, digital content, teacher support resources, and guidance on the curriculum implementation, all in one place. In this short walkthrough, we will show you how to navigate platform and access learning materials. Step 1. Visit the NCDC website on www.ncdc.go.ug. Step 2. Click on the e-learning platform. Step 3. Click on register to create an account or log in if you already have one. You can also use the guest account which does not require login. Step 4. Simply enter your details and follow the prompts. Once logged in, you will have access to the downloadable materials and interactive content. The NCDC e-learning platform is designed to make curriculum access easier, faster, and more flexible for learners, teachers, and stakeholders across Uganda. By integrating technology into the curriculum delivery, NCDC is expanding access to quality education beyond the traditional classroom. Flexible, accessible, future-focused. Behind every curriculum-related document lies the expertise of our print and production unit. The unit operates a state-of-the-art printing press capable of delivering high-quality printing and publishing services. By producing materials in-house, NCDC reduces costs and strengthens institutional sustainability while ensuring timely availability of curriculum resources. We print all curriculum-related materials, including textbooks, readers, and teachers' guides, supporting effective implementation across the education sector. Beyond curriculum materials, the unit also provides commercial printing services to the public, guaranteeing high quality, quick turnaround, and competitive pricing. Our services include posters and banners, flyers and brochures, branded letterheads, stickers and labels, and much more. With precision, efficiency, and professionalism, the print and the production unit brings ideas to life in print.
Thank you very much. Welcome again. I have one question here, and it is how many scores will scenarios take? Now, I want us to note that we don't have a specific, total score for each scenario. Why? Because scenarios have different parameters. So the total score will be determined by the different parameters, the basis of assessment. If we have more than, for example, 3 bases of assessment, you cannot have a score which is as the same total as one that has 2 bases of assessment. So, of course, at the end of the day, we know that for each base of assessment, we are scoring it from, or the highest score is a 4. So this will depend on how many bases we have. If you have 3, then you multiply the 4 times 3. If you have even more than 3, like 5, for example, then you multiply the 5 times 4. So it is determined by the basis of assessment. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again. Oh, there is another question here. Shall there be continuous assessment on project work? No, we are aligning this, this curriculum was aligned to the old curriculum, and we didn't have project work in food and nutrition. We had project work in clothing and textiles, and that's the reason why project work still has come out in clothing and textiles when we are assessing clothing and textiles. I talked about that last Friday. But for nutrition, we shall be having the 2 papers. Maybe when we do the actual reform, the overhaul, I don't know what will come, but we never know, just in case it is decided upon. But for now, we are assessing 2 papers, and that is the theory paper and the practical paper. And like I mentioned, both papers cut across all the constructs, the 3 constructs, because you cannot do a practical without the science in the home, or the food production unit, because you will need the equipment, you will need to know about the heat and all that. You need all that. And of course, the value addition and the meal preparation. So, paper 2 will cut across the 3 constructs, and the same thing with paper 1, although paper 1 will be in sections A and B. A and B is compulsory, where we have the food production unit, or application of the principles in the food production unit. And then we have value addition, that is for section A, which is compulsory. 2 items, and both of them are compulsory. And then we have section B that has 2 items that are addressing nutrition and meal management. And that will have, the candidates will be expected to select 1 out of the 2. Thank you very much once again, and I wish you a nice evening.
Welcome to the Nile English course, your guide to mastering English in a fun and practical way. Designed by the National Curriculum Development Center, the Nile English course helps you to build strong skills in reading and understanding, writing with clarity, speaking with confidence, listening carefully and critically. With exciting stories, engaging activities, and real-life examples, learning English becomes interactive and meaningful. Whether you're in class or studying at home, the Nile English course supports your journey to becoming a confident communicator, because strong communication skills open doors in school and in life.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a good afternoon to you all. Today marks the end of our online facilitation on the assessment of the advanced secondary curriculum. The A-level curriculum has 29 subjects, and I am aware that we have presented 28 because our Kiswahili specialist got a challenge and is not here with us. And for that reason, we have not had Kiswahili presented. But let me use this point, this chance, to make a promise to all of us that we shall have Kiswahili presented as soon as he gets back into shape and is able to do online facilitation for his subject. Special thanks to all school administrators who have organized their member of staff to make sure that they are part of this online facilitation. I would also like to take this chance to apologize to any inconveniences this could have led to, because we felt, yes, whereas this is a bit late, it is better done now than later. In case you have missed on any of the sessions that we have presented, I encourage you to get time and revisit the session of your interest on our YouTube channel. All the videos, all sessions have been streamed live on the NCDC YouTube channel, that is NCDC UG, A-level assessment. You'll find all the sessions there, and you can listen to any session of your interest. And you even have a chance if you need to revisit some sections of the session, you can still get back and catch up. We shall be producing more of the kind, and I am believing that once we do that, we shall try as much as possible to keep you posted. One of the things that we should not forget is that what we have done has been virtual, and therefore we are making all effort to make sure that we provide the documents on our website such that we can access them and read them again and again for purposes of better understanding and appreciation of what has been shared, but also confirming for those of us who learn better through written text. With those few words, on behalf of the National Curriculum Development Center Management and on my own behalf as the manager in charge of secondary department, I once again thank you for being with us. In case you have a question, please, you can get back to the YouTube channel and post that question. We shall look at them and we shall compile all the questions to form a quick a pool of questions and the respective answers or responses in order to support effective implementation of the curriculum. Thank you very much. The online session has ended for now, and we shall keep you posted on other matters arising. Have a good afternoon. Session has been closed.
Welcome to the National Curriculum Development Center e-learning center platform, your digital getaway to curriculum resources and support. This platform provides access to approved curriculum materials, digital content, teacher support resources, and guidance on the curriculum implementation, all in one place. In this short walkthrough, we will show you how to navigate platform and access learning materials. Step 1. Visit the NCDC website on www.ncdc.go.ug. Step 2. Click on the e-learning platform